Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another itty bitty news show from the Disneyland Paris show. I'm your host, Lucy Rain.
I'm Chris Fletcher.
Hello, children. I'm Hugh Rain.
And now, Disneyland Paris news.
The countdown begins as annual pass previews for the reopening of Disneyland Paris are set to begin in just 7 days.
The park reservation system for guests without hotel reservations or dated tickets went live last Thursday, the 2nd of June, and you can reserve places through to the 27th of October 2020. As of recording, all dates, including AP preview days, are still available.
Further preparations are visible outside Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios Park, with hundreds of green barriers being placed in double-back queue formations, along with social distancing markers for the expected crowds.
Construction work restarts on Avengers Campus and Hotel New York, Art of Marvel.
A full list of restaurants reopening and not reopening has been issued by Disneyland Paris. Restaurants are now available to book 60 days in advance.
And now, the weather.
Sport.
Is it raining where you are, Chris?
It has been raining. At the moment we've got blue sky and ne'er a cloud to be seen.
It's been on and off all day.
We've had everything up here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wind, rain,
Sleet.
and everything in between. So, it's really, really close now.
I know.
It's next Wednesday is the grand reopening. I'm just going to jump into the middle of our news there about the reservations, in that using our annual passes, which are now registered online, immediately before this show I went on to see what was still available. And everything was still available. However, the reason I went on was because earlier today I saw that the preview on the 14th and the opening day on the 15th had both sold out.
Oh.
So, and then I saw somebody reply to that saying, no, they've only sold out for annual pass holders, not for regular guests. And then someone else said they're still available. So I've just looked on as an annual pass holder, and to me they're still available. Now, apparently there's some confusion there. What they're doing is that they're setting aside a certain amount of places for annual pass holders, a certain amount for hotel guests, and a certain amount for non-hotel guests. So when you book, you're not booking from one big pool. So it's anyone worried that all the annual pass holders are going to book up all the days, they can't really, because they've just got their own quota, which I think is better for regular guests.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think this is where the confusion is, because I'm seeing different things on Twitter as to what's available and what's not. But, as I just said, as I just went on as an annual pass holder, everything for every day all the way up to October was still available. So don't worry. If you're there going, oh no, I've got a holiday booked at the end of August, will I get dates? I think they've got a big enough number of slots for everyone to get in there.
They've got a big slot.
Well, isn't that encouraging?
We're so glad you're here to add to this conversation, Huey. Always useful.
He doesn't say a lot, but what he does say is really useful.
He's awful.
Yeah, that too.
So, as we've just mentioned, guys, you've probably figured out that our trip to Disneyland Paris is going ahead as planned.
So far. Chris is choking.
Carry on.
At the news.
We can't do the Heimlich manoeuvre via Zoom. That's a bit worrying.
I haven't eaten anything.
Oh. So yeah, we've got our 2 days booked. So we will
When
be
you going?
there.
When you going?
It opens on the Wednesday. We're setting off driving on the Thursday. We will be in the park on the Friday. So we will be there 2 days after the opening. At the point that I booked transportation and everything, they hadn't announced the annual pass holders previews. And I know it's only 3 days, but I would have just loved to have been the first people in. You know what I mean?
Well.
I would have got a proper kick out of it. But there you go. So we're going to be the third day.
Yeah.
Can you smell the chlorine from It's a Small World already?
Yes.
You're that close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because our Disney World trip finally got cancelled.
Yeah, flights did it in the end.
BA took the decision off our hands and cancelled the flight.
You thought that was going to
to
happen, didn't you?
Yeah. And do you know what? After everything, it was a relief. Because the pressure was, Lucy might disagree because she arranges the whole thing and I just sit back.
No, it was a
relief. Like having the decision been made for us.
Because I felt like it was going to happen anyway, and it could have happened 2 weeks before, it could have happened a week before, whatever, and it could have kept us going on. Because I don't think we would have cancelled at any point.
Did we even find out what hotel we were going to get?
No. Because the hotel we were in was shut. See, that's part of the reason I was hanging on as well.
So it was just to see.
I wanted to know what hotel we're going to get upgraded to. But yeah, I don't think we would have cancelled. We would have just gone ahead and gone. But we were just sitting around waiting for someone else to cancel. And I'd been through the whole thing of booking the park days. I'd booked the restaurants. And all the time I'm doing it. And it's a proper pain in the neck to do. And the whole time I'm thinking, we're probably not going to sit in this restaurant. We're probably not going to go in this park.
How long were you on the phone for 2 weeks ago?
2 hours, 2.75 hours.
And then how long were you queuing online as well after that?
For the actual park thing, a good sort of... Well, I gave up and then logged back on 2 hours later, but in total it was probably about 2 hours.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's an awful lot. And all the time you knew it was likely to be cancelled as well.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time planning it, researching, making decisions, doing this. And then it took me an hour to do all the restaurants for 12 days and all this. It's a lot of stuff. And bear in mind, second time we've done this, because we planned a May trip as well. And anyone who's ever planned a Disney World trip knows it's not a turn up and wing it thing. You have to you're doing fast passes. We're doing... restaurants and everything.
Outfit coordination.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then we won't get too into this.
I'm serious.
Because I plan my Disney bounds to go with the restaurants that we plan on eating at.
And now we've got the addition of masks to coordinate too.
Yeah, so I'm sewing masks to go with my Disney bounds, to go with the restaurants, to go with the park that we've booked. Bonkers.
So we're in talks about a January trip.
Because that wasn't enough, we then start podcasts so that we can talk about all this neurotic planning that we do. But yeah, we're in talks about a January trip.
Oh, nice.
Preliminary talks.
And we nearly booked it. We nearly booked it yesterday, but when we looked at our travel insurance...
It was because Lucy's figured out a way of renting DVC points, Disney Vacation Club points,
right?
From someone who's not using them, and we could basically have got in the Polynesian for the same price as the holiday we were going to have in a moderate. And we're like, hello, but it's non-refundable. And we just thought at the moment...
Because it's a private seller.
We can't risk it. And no insurance will cover it. So we just decided we can't risk it.
And do you know what?
even for January. You just don't know, do you?
After everything, after months and months and months of planning and neurotically refreshing emails and doing this, and then I've spent 3 days researching DVC points and nearly booking that. This afternoon I just thought, do you know what, sod it. So I think we're going to wait 3 or 4 weeks before we book anything else or even think about it, because I've had enough, and I never thought I'd say that.
But that's consumer confidence at the moment in anything like this, isn't it? I mean, really, it's kind of like you say, it's a good thing that it was cancelled and it wasn't a decision that you had to make. But at the same time, it's a long way to go with the current, risks associated with it compared to travelling a few hundred miles down to Paris. And I know it's smaller, and I know it's not the same thing.
In
and
our
it's
own
only for a couple of
car,
days.
that is the big difference, in our own car.
Even down to this level, we were driving past B&M today, and Lucy said, "Oh, do you need your B&M fix?" And I just thought, no, we'll have to queue, get the masks on. It's not something it's not a shop you can just pop into anymore.
No.
It's like, it becomes like at least a 10-15 minute wait just to get in. And I just thought, I can't be bothered. So if it's that bad at that level, times that by how many times to get to a Disney World trip.
Yeah.
Just at the moment, you just think, hey, is it worth it right now?
But just look at what we're doing right now. I mean, strictly speaking, I think we could get together now and record.
I think we could now, yeah.
But,
I mean, if people can go to the bloody pub,
we could.
We could sit in the kitchen together.
But then I think I'd have to leave the microphones with you and let you have the microphones, because there's obviously a risk of contamination through those and everything. And
right.
I mean, but I mean, I I think it's something we can discuss maybe over the next couple of weeks and possibly actually get a face-to-face recording in at some point, which would be really, really nice.
Chris, I would love that, and I just got goosebumps.
Oh.
Anyway, do you know what is the ointment on our wounds over this Florida trip? Is that we are doing a very last-minute impromptu Disneyland trip after being in our own house for 4 months, and I'm very, very, very excited, but we're not telling Bonnie because she has a homeschooling box that she opens. Is she asleep? Go see if she's asleep.
She probably is. Just keep it quiet.
We have her.
Okay.
I'm leaning into the microphone.
Yeah, no, so am I. But I'm not even talking, but I'm leaning in too.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a homeschooling box, and every day she opens it up, and it's her tasks, 5 tasks for the day. Okay?
Yeah,
with her books and her sheets. And so next Thursday, she will just get up and open her homeschooling box, and her tasks will be pack for Disneyland, write a list of things you want to do in Disneyland, decide what we want to listen to in the car for Disneyland, and then we'll set off to Disneyland.
But Mum, I want to do maths. I want to do maths, Mum. Can I do some maths instead?
She can do it in the 8-hour car ride if she wants to do maths. It's fine.
Are you taking the box with you?
Possibly. You see, this is the other thing. This is why I like driving there. You can
Does
take
this
any amount.
count as ASMR? What just happened then?
What's
Oh,
that?
God.
Is it an ASMR? You know those whispering videos?
Oh. I really hope not.
I got a friend who's into them.
Right.
He sent me one once and I didn't get it. Does nothing for me.
Do you know what, guys? Let's talk Disneyland news, because we've gone off a bit.
Quietly.
So, next week, listeners, if you tune in next week, we will be doing our pre-trip report, which is our plans, our
It's like when you
packing.
go prinking in your kitchen before you go out.
Yeah.
Pre-drinking.
Prinking.
So, it's
Prinking.
pripping. Is it pripping?
That's what I said.
A prip report.
Pre-trip report. It's a prip report.
Report.
Trip reports.
Report.
Just roll with it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
No, it's not.
I don't know what it is.
Saturday and Sunday, you've got cast members and their families doing a preview. And this is like dress rehearsals, really, isn't it, for the people who work there? And then Monday and Tuesday, you've got annual pass holders. And then grand reopening, yay! Wednesday. So this is when we'll get answers to all of our questions. We're already getting answers to some of the questions. And I know we all had a lot of trepidation about Disneyland Paris and the food situation. About what restaurants will be open.
Yeah, because Chris, you sent us a link today, didn't you?
I did, because I was excited for you. I spotted
Yes.
the Lucky Nugget was accepting reservations, and I thought, oh, they like the Lucky Nugget. I bet they want to know that. So
They did.
Banged it
And
over.
then I couldn't find how. I'm going to try ring up tomorrow to make a couple more reservations as well. But I couldn't find out how to book it. So I went online and did some digging. And it turns out you can only book it online from the Belgium website. Belgian website. So I went on the
Okay.
Belgian Disneyland Paris website. Sure enough, my rudimentary French, I think I could have changed it to English, but I thought it might take me to the English website, so I didn't.
Yeah, possibly.
I tried to read it all in French, and I found the reservation button, and then Stitch ate my page. Have you ever had the Stitch just ate the page?
Oh, yeah.
Screen when something goes wrong. So I haven't booked Lucky Nugget, but that is one of my favourites, and it is one I would be interested to see.
What's
It's a good
changed,
one
yeah.
to go and see what's going on with it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think we're going to do that. I also think we're going to book a buffet meal, but it won't be a buffet, and this is why
No.
we're booking it, because I want to see what they're doing. So I think maybe Billy Bob's and see what's going on there.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then I don't know, quick service. Anyway, let's see what's open. Auberge de Cendrillon will not be reopening until 1st of September.
Wow.
Hang on, I'm just trying to find my list. 1 second. But that's face characters, isn't it?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a character meal, and I can't imagine them being able to charge the price.
Yeah, there's not space in there for them to come out onto like a stage or anything, is there?
No. Well,
That I can think of.
even with social distancing, I think when it's they don't want princesses in masks, and the people...
Oh, no.
The fur characters are a bit safer anyway, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's not opening, or provisional opening for September, so I presume that'll depend on the pandemic. I've just lost it. Now then, Waltz is remaining closed, but that's no surprise because that's been closed for refurbishment for like a year and a half now.
Never set foot in that place.
Well, then, it's just perpetually shut. And it's never had a reopening date, and it's not actually been refurbed. Now, if you remember, they did that to Pizza Planet. They shut it seasonally and just never reopened it again. And it was still on the app until about the middle of last year or something. It had been shut for 5 years. So we don't really know what's going on with Waltz. But then the other two that have not got reopening dates are Fuerte del Oro and Toad Hall. That's a bit of a bummer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we like Toad Hall and we've never eaten in Fuerte del Oro. And last time...
Is Pinocchio open?
Pinocchio's open. I don't have a list of what is, I've just got a list of what isn't, so we can presume if it's not on the list that it is open. Cowboy Cookout, Last Chance Cafe and Silver Spur House will all open on the 1st of August.
Okay.
So actually, that's... all the Disney hotel restaurants will reopen at the same time as the hotel opens.
So does that mean Lucky Nugget's the only place open in Frontierland then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it does.
Slim pickings.
Yeah.
So that means Colonel Hattie's open, Hakuna Matata's open. I'm just thinking of quick service. I want to say Bella Italia. Bella Note's open.
Casey?
Hyperion. Oh, Hyperion was close to refurbishment. No, but I think that's open. Casey's is reopened. I was surprised at that because there's not much room for social distancing, is there?
There's loads of space outside for making people queue outside, though, I guess, isn't there?
There is.
They can
It's not
find a
good
way around
luck,
that. No.
Yeah.
No, but
I know
it's not going to be busy, is it,
necessary.
either?
Well,
Let's
no,
just
that's
remember,
true.
it's not going to be overly busy.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. They've also said that they're going to increase the meal options at snack carts, as in they're going to sell packaged sandwiches and more substantial items.
That's a good idea.
At places like the Old Mill and stuff that only really sold ice creams and waffles. I think they're going to sell a bit more. That is a good idea because then you would eat it outside. I believe they've also said that they're going to offer takeout box options at quick service, which I don't know about because I know it's not going to be that busy, but is this just going to litter the whole place with people stood around eating?
It'd be funny though, wouldn't it? If people like not putting the rubbish in the bins afterwards as well, and it turned into like Dewsbury Town Centre on a Thursday afternoon.
It's not like there are like little hillsides to sit on, is there?
Not even many benches.
Where would you go?
Yeah.
Just sit out on the bridges and in the streets.
Some of us are bothered about sitting down to eat though, but when you got kids, you kind of need to, don't you?
Yeah, I just don't understand what you can do with that.
No.
You see,
Where can you take your little box of food?
yeah, individually for myself, I don't mind just kind of sitting cross-legged on the floor and eating. So it's not that I'm bothered about eating. What I'm really bothered about is hundreds of people doing that all over the park.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit, ugh.
I don't think it will be like that. It's like you might be a few people dotted about. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, but then sometimes you go up the arcades and people are just sat on the floor eating the sandwiches and stuff that they've got from the various different places. So you do see it sometimes.
You do.
It's not that bad, I think. And again, it's going to be quiet. It's not going to be overly busy at the moment. You know, it's low numbers.
That's it.
It probably won't be noticeable. Or if it is, it'll be like nice and pleasant, like people out picnicking, and it'll be quaint.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's it.
Sounds idyllic.
We've heard from a Shanghai vlog. Oh no, not Shanghai. A Hong Kong vlog that the stretching room isn't open in Hong Kong.
Oh.
So that gives us a clue as to what's going on with
And how
this.
are they
We'll
managing
see.
it, have they said?
No, it was... no, they haven't. It was just someone wandering around the park going, and there you've got the haunted manor. Of course, they're not using the stretching room. And then they just went on to another subject. But my ears pricked up because we're asking it. It wasn't like an in-depth
I
study
feel like
or
we should have
anything.
hired a private investigator to find this out. This is
I
the third
know.
week of us trying to work out what's going to happen.
That was my very first question before they even went into lockdown. How are they going to do the stretch room?
What they should do is just have it permanently lowered, and then just keep the
Jump.
queue going in, and just drop down.
They should have, those inflatable slides you have on aircrafts when they crash.
How far do you reckon the drop is? About 20 feet. No.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 20 feet. something like
Probably,
that.
yeah.
You could survive that. Just put some crash mats down. Be all part of the
Yeah.
experience.
And like give you hand gel as you go out for where you put your hands down when
Slides.
you land on them.
That's what I just said, one of those inflatable slides.
Yeah.
That'd be
Spiral,
cool.
just a spiral staircase. But sticking a spiral staircase, so you just go down.
A creepy spiral staircase. It would be fitting.
Yeah.
That creaked as you went down.
Well, it probably would because they'd have to build it pretty quickly. It'd be a bit of a slapdash jobs.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they've got one ready to go.
Have you
Not with
seen?
French labour laws.
Have you seen the pictures of the plaza between the two parks with all the barriers and things?
Where it's all been dug up, but it looks like it's been dug up. That
Well, yeah. There's two elements to this. There's the dug up bit where they're merging the two security things into one. I think so. It's just one long line of tents instead of
From-
various different entrances.
from the train station bit is that. Because
Actually, no.
I've seen some pictures and I was quite confused by it, but because in the article that I was reading, I can't remember where it was from, but it was saying that it's been planned for a while and this has kind of given them the excuse to do it, but
Yeah.
I couldn't quite work out where it was coming from.
When you say the dug up bit, is that a themed bit with Doug from Up?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
When you look at the pictures that were posted on DLP Report on Twitter, I highly recommend you follow them. They're brilliant. It's directly facing Studio One. So I'm imagining that you more or less stood outside or a bit down from the train station and you're facing Studio One, and then there's a big sort of circular thing that's been dug up there.
Because there's three entrances from there at the moment, isn't there? There's one that goes down towards the Disneyland Park. There's one that goes, I think, straight out the middle towards the towards the studios, and then there's one I think there's one that comes out the other way into the village. I think one of them might be an exit.
I
though.
presume the one that goes to the village is just going to stick where it is. But yeah, there's two, because you always have to decide which one you want to put your bags through, don't you? So I think they're turning that into one.
Cool.
But I'll be honest, I'm still struggling to visualise what it's going to look like in the end.
I guess you'll see in a couple of weeks' time, and that'll
We
be
will see in a couple of weeks.
exciting.
But yeah,
won't it?
the barriers, they've done a good job with them. And they're quite nice looking. They're not big orange plastic things. But there's hundreds of them. And I question it because they've limited the capacity.
Yeah.
And the working park reservations and stuff like that. Why they can only need that for the first hour in the morning. But yeah. But maybe it's because I don't know. It's quite intense. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I guess if that's when it's busy, though, it kind of makes sense that they.
Yeah, I mean they've got to be prepared for the busiest time of day, haven't
Of course
they?
they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Right. Have you anything else you wanted to talk about, boys?
I don't think so. I mean, for me, I'm just really excited to hear about your planning report and next week, and then when you've been, I'm living vicariously through you right now.
Oh, I know, it's very exciting.
I'm massively excited for you.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the skies, guys. We have another podcast called 37 Disney Street. We are the 37 Disney Street team, but you are listening to the Disneyland Paris show. Our 37 Disney Street podcast, we've been reviewing the classics.
Plus some extras.
Plus generally
Yeah.
new releases we review as well. And
Like the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
And what
was.
you get in there is a little bit of history and background and facts, and then you get to hear our opinions, and we
whole
talk
lot of
about
opinion.
what's gone into the making of the film. It's a good old listen, and generally quite long, longer than this one. So if you fancy popping over and testing that out, do. I also recommend that you follow us on YouTube, because there's going to be some stuff going up from our forthcoming trip and so on. And you can follow us all on Twitter and Facebook.
And Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
MySpace.
Yeah.
yeah. LinkedIn? No, we're not on LinkedIn. So, with that being said, I've been Lucy, and good night.
I've been Chris, and good night.
Good night, children. I'm not going to say who I am.